Hey guys, welcome back to the Math Bench. We will be doing Module 3, Lessons 11 through 14. This will be through a 4-day week upcoming since we have Friday off, so each lesson will be for Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. So let's go ahead and get started and see what we have for this upcoming week. On Monday, we have Lesson 11, Exchanging Place Value. You're expected to exchange 10 ones for 1 10, 10 tens for 100, and 10 hundreds for 1000. Something that's also upcoming in this lesson is to see if you recall your steps from lesson 10, and that is going to be the place value chart. On the left you have the hundreds, on the middle you have the tens, and on the right you have the ones. And if they want you to use the place value disk to create the number 235, well, you'll need 2 hundreds disk, 3 tens disk, and 5 ones disk. So now I want you to go and try and make the number 348. How many discs would you need for the hundreds, the tens, and the ones? Let me know in the comments below. On Tuesday, we have Lesson 12, Reading and Writing Numbers with Place Value Disk up to 1200. We will continue to do the same thing as the day prior on Monday, but for Tuesday, we will be using the thousands place now for our chart. So for example, if you wanted to use the number 1132, we would now be using our thousands place in the value chart, and instead of 3 slots, now we have 4. For the 4th slot, we would go ahead and put our 1000, our 100, our 3 tens, and our 2 ones. They will also be utilizing the skill that they learned for the past couple of lessons, which is counting up with the number line. Fortunately, it does not go that high, but we will be starting at 0, and let's say we wanted to get to 151. Well, remember, the fastest efficient way to get there is that we can use a 100. Then we would use our 5 tens to get to 150, and then we would use 1 1 to get to our final target of 151. On Wednesday, Lesson 13, we utilize the place value chart with using more than 9 ones, tens, and hundreds. What this means is that normally we would only be able to fit 9 ones or tens or hundreds in a single spot. Once we reach 10, 11, 12, we would have to move it over to the next place value. This starts to get a little tricky though without the use of manipulative help, so thus they will have place value charts in class to be able to utilize and help them count and rearrange their disk. Now for example, if we wanted to draw 341 using hundreds, tens, and ones, you would use 3 hundreds disk, 4 tens disk, and 1 ones disk. But if they tell you to draw 341 using only tens and ones, you would literally have to go and no longer use the hundreds anymore, but convert your hundreds into tens. Since we have 3 hundreds, that means we would have to convert those hundreds into 30 tens. Thus, with the 4 tens that we already had there, it would be 34 tens and 1 1. This is through a process called bundling, and we saw it before when we did our straws with our big bundle, our medium bundle, and our single straw. On Thursday, we have our last lesson for the week, which is Lesson 14, Exploring Situations with More Than 9 Groups of 10. This is where we start getting to our basic foundations of multiplication without stating it. This is going to be done through a process of drawing and understanding and being able to visualize what the problem wants. For example, if a box comes in 10 pencils and we have 11 boxes, well, we can convert that into a multiplication problem of 11 times 10. The 11 boxes times the 10 pencils in each box. If we do that multiplication problem, we will get 110 pencils. Thus, I'd like for you to go and try if we had 13 boxes of 10 pencils, what answer would you get there? If you had your 13 boxes and there were 10 pencils in each box, how many would you get in total? Let me know in the comments below. And that'll do it for this week with Module 3, Lessons 11 through 14. Make sure that if you have any questions, leave them in the comments below. I will do my best to answer them as quick as possible. With that being said, I hope you all have an amazing rest of your weekend.